Hey everyone, in this video we're going to be working on this 2.5 litre CEPA engine from Audi, normally fitted to the TTRS and the RS3 model, so we're going to be changing the spark plugs on it. So these are the tools and parts you're going to require. Nothing too fancy, it's just the basic stuff. You need a T20 Torx to remove the cover of the spark plug coils. You'll need your ratchet, a couple of extensions, your spark plug spanner, a 5/8 size, and obviously you need the spark plugs, and in this case I do recommend getting the genuine spark plugs. That's the part number there. So they are expensive, but I do recommend getting the genuine ones. So what you want to do is start by removing the two Torx screws that hold on the plastic loom cover. This is a one-piece unit, so it has to be removed together. All the connectors are held in underneath on this plastic loom cover. So open each one of the plugs and pull it out together. So you want to do this incrementally so it comes out evenly. So when you remove that loom, you can go ahead and clean that whole area before removing the coils. There's actually a special tool that you use to remove the coils. If you don't have that tool, warm up the engine for a couple of minutes, so this will assist in removing the coils a bit easier. Keep the coils in order so you know exactly what cylinder to put them back in. It's just good practice doing it this way. So you saw how I pulled out the coil. Never hold the electrical connector and pull it out that way. Always hold it by the rubber part where the tool actually slides in. So if you look at the coil now, this is where the tool slides in. So always hold it here, wiggle it, and then just pull it up. So you get the idea from this point. Go ahead and take off all the other coils. It's always good practice once you have all the coils out. Clean up the spark plug welds and the rocker cover just to make sure no dirt falls into the combustion chamber. Use compressed air or something similar. Or even a vacuum would suffice. Once all the spark plugs are out, I normally like to use a torch or a boroscope or something similar and just check each cylinder. You can normally see if there's anything in there, if possibly anything has fallen off from the plugs or if any dirt's gone there. It's easier to clean it out now while you still got everything removed. So these are the new, this is the old plug. The tips on the spark plug, the old one was a little bit worn and it's got a little bit of carbon deposits in there, but nothing significant. Looking at the spark plugs and reading their condition is an important point whenever you're pulling out your spark plugs. You can determine any future problems early on just by looking at the plug itself. Torque down each spark plug to 30 Newton meters. And now I'll go ahead and install the rest of them. As I mentioned earlier, these plastic caps do come off the loom when you pull it out sometimes. So what you do is just look at those clips there. All they do is just go in there and just re-clip in. It just assists to hold the connector in there and it just clips into the ignition coil. You can also pull out the sensor plug here if you need extra room when pulling out the ignition coils. What I like to do is put a little bit of dielectric grease at the bottom of the rubber boot. This seals in the spark plugs and it also assists in removing the coils the next time you need to pull it out. You can also put a little bit of grease on the top rubber boot, This will also assist you in removal when it comes time to changing the spark plugs. We'll go ahead now and reinstall the ignition coils. Make sure you hear the audible click. Also take note of the rocker cover and how it's got those two notches there. Make sure you line up the coils in that orientation and then push it in. It only goes in one way, so just remember that. Now finally, go ahead and reinstall your loom and your ignition coils, the connectors. So it goes in as one piece, as I mentioned earlier. So do it evenly and in increments, and you'll hear an audible click again on the connectors, and that means it's locked in. Also, don't forget to put in the sensor plug if you had removed that earlier. So that's how you change the spark plugs on a Audi TTRS or an RS3. Don't forget to put your 2 torque screws back in, and once it's all done, we'll go ahead and start up the vehicle. I hope this video was of some help to you. If it was, please like and subscribe, and thanks for watching.